Alright, what's good everybody? Well, I got some cooling system repairs going on here, and while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and bang out this thermostat. So, if you're watching, you're going to see a lot of this stuff is missing. The radiator's missing, the hoses are off. None of that's going to change what we're doing right now. In the previous video, all I really did was I took off this upper radiator hose right here. It had a little spring-loaded clamp I took off, and then took the upper radiator hose off. And that's about as far as I got, so. And you can see this thing's kind of like double nutted. It's got a nut there. It's got a little ground eyelet, and then it's got a nut on top. So the part that's the bitch on this, at least on this front one right here, is that as you try to unscrew this top bolt, the bottom one wants to turn with it. Keep going like that, you're eventually going to just break this little ground wire off here. Yeah, I mean, look at that. It's hard to fit basically anything in there. So all we're going to have to do is really find another eyelet, connect this ground wire to said eyelet, install this back down, put the eyelet on, and then clamp this puppy down. So got a 13mm little extension, got a ratchet. And there should be. Here's the thermostat in all its glory. You wanna be a dick? You wanna be a dick? You wanna be a dick? It wants to be a dick. Now, a lot of times in the past what I've done is I would just keep the hose connected to it and then just work the whole thing out, because the upper radiator hose kind of goes and routes through here. I just pull the whole shebang up like this and then do the same thing. Got a little bit of some shit built up on there. It'll just take me a little wire brush. We've got our new thermostat. It also came with a gasket. This is the part number that we're using right here. And apparently my son has something to say. What's going on, bud? The cool thing about these is that you don't have to like scrape nothing off or use your little grinding wheel or anything to remove anything. Take the thermostat and it'll just plop right down into this. There's a little recess in there, and that's how she sits. So this is how she's going to sit, kind of just like that. And we're going to take our two hold down bolts, which were these. Just put one right there, and you've got one right back here. Helps if you can see what you're doing. Like most things, I just like to start threading them by hand. That way I don't risk fucking cross threading nothing and getting myself in a world of shit. I don't really know what the torque spec is for this, and I'm just going to kind of go by feel. I don't want to over torque it, so I'm just going to use Mr. Stubby ratchet, because it's kind of hard to like really, smash down on stuff. So we're good there. Whoop. And we're good there. Now I'd say probably in the last, I don't know, 8 or 12 of these that I've done, I didn't really have a problem with this ground wire, but of course, being it's my vehicle, it's got to break. So I'm just going to take some strippers and kind of strip off a little bit of the insulation on this wire. I'm gonna go ahead and fold him over because this is like looks like a 14 or 16 gauge wire, and the only eyelet I could find that was remotely close to that size was a 12 gauge one. Doesn't really look that pretty, but what are you going to do? So again, this top nut was a 14. Just go ahead and lightly snug them down. So, as far as the thermostat goes, I think we're good to go there. Like I said, we're kind of doing multiple things at once here, so we're going to call that a wrap on the thermostat. You know, chances are when you take this cover off, if you didn't do any of this other stuff, you're probably going to lose a little bit of juice, and you'll probably have to you know, top off the cooling system when you're done. So no big deal. There's going to be a little video up for just topping off the cooling system. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. The next part's coming up. We're going to keep moving on this thing.